Muy buenas a todos, chicos y chicas, ¿qué tal estáis? Bienvenidos al último capítulo de The Witcher 3. Bienvenidos al final de esta aventura que han sido ya 45 capítulos entre el juego base y los dos DLCs. Voy a hacer una cosita, me voy a quitar... Voy a hacer que sea por la mañana, un poquito más por la tarde, más o menos por aquí. Vale, así me quito la toxicidad y demás. Y bueno, vamos a ir terminando lo que viene a ser... Lista de precios. Lo que viene a ser el juego. Literalmente, ha sido... La verdad que ha sido una aventura... Joder, me la he vuelto a pasar increíble. O sea, sé, rejugar otra vez The Witcher 3, la versión de PlayStation 5, con todos los DLCs, en fin, con las mejoras, porque la versión de Play 5... con las mejoras le metieron mods, o sea, metieron mods de la comunidad a este juego para que se viera como mucho mejor. Utilizaron los mods de la comunidad, los de CD Projekt, para mejorar incluso el The Witcher 3. Y pasármelo de nuevo, tío, me ha flipado bastante. O sea, es uno de los mejores RPGs que han sacado nunca. Espero que el The Witcher 4 vuelva a poner otra vez el tope de uno de los mejores RPGs. La banda sonora que tiene el 3 es impresionante. La saga, o sea, la saga Geralt de Rivia es la polla, es que no puedo decir otra cosa. En fin, que este juego ha sido otra vez increíble volvérmelo a pasar. Ha sido increíble. Ay, qué malito estoy.
What do you want?
To talk.
Here, that's a waste of breath. We've tried it, only to tire our lips. We'll use other means of persuasion now.
Gentlemen, calm, please.
Either get out along with these flea-ridden vagabonds, or we'll toss you all out. Our patience is gone. This place is no longer a rank refuse dump.
Scram! Decent folk live here.
The shelter, them living here, bothers you. Question is why.
Look, Ballard. Another defender of the poor. Fighter for justice.
Damn nuisance. We've our women and young folk living next door, when even grown men fear to walk past such rabble.
Decent folk you mention. Mean yourselves?
Why? Do you doubt it?
Hell yes.
Hear that, Artois? He poking insults us. On our own turf.
¿Queréis
Step aside, good fellow.
pelea?
My friend is perfectly capable of settling this unfortunate dispute on his own.
Ah, sí. Ay.
Come now, Witcher. Try me.
Hala.
All right. I can take a hint. Come, time to go.
I thank you so much for your aid. I tried to reason with them, but they'd have beat me blue had you not come along. I'm grateful. Immensely.
What did they want from you?
They are neighbors. Wish me to take my folk, the shelter, elsewhere. They dislike that I help the beggars. I do not oppose going elsewhere, were we to have somewhere to go. But you've come with a problem, have you? My turn to aid you.
What is this place? Poorhouse?
You could call it that. They come here to rest and eat a hot meal.
You help them, why?
Because they need help.
Need some information. Looking for a man who might have mentioned the bootblack in Rue de Garl.
The bootblack. A feisty lad. I know him.
Any of your, wards supposed to meet him recently or soon?
Forgive me. Those I help and I are not so close that I would know. But should you wait, they'll all soon come for their meal. You can question them yourselves.
Sure all your usual beggars will be here?
They're not obliged to come, of course. But they rarely find a decent meal elsewhere. So, almost all in the area eat here.
Thanks. We'll wait. Nice of you to let us.
Vale. A ver, ¿quién era el nombre de la quinta?
My dears, I've a matter to address before I serve the soup. These two gentlemen have some questions of you. Pay attention. Answer in brief. For if you draw it out, your soup will go cold. And we wouldn't want that, would we?
Recently, 4 of you delivered sealed letters to the bootblack. I know this.
Does anyone know what the gentleman means? Go on, speak up. Romain?
Why should I squeal? We were all told not to mention the letters. We all swore.
You can tell me, Romain. You were given a letter and you delivered it, right? Good work, Romain. Thank you. Who else?
I got one too. Gave it to the bootblack. And Freshy, he got one. But he can't tell you, as he's not here.
I still have mine. I'm to deliver it 2 days after the Feast of St. Barnabas.
It's a matter of importance to the Duchy. Hand it over, or I'll take it from you, plain and simple.
But I was to deliver it personally. Let no one else see it. That is what she said, and she was frightening.
Fue Siana la
To
que...
heed folk who are kind and honest. These men helped me a short while ago, helped all of us. If this individual threatened you, you need not keep the promise you made.
All right, take it. I didn't want to see the bootblack anyways. It's always muddy there.
¿Quién era la quinta víctima, tío?
Damn it.
What is it? Another name, truly?
See for yourself.
Well, well.
¿Quién?
I must say, even I did not expect this. This time you will see to our Duquesa. It seems we underestimated...
Quería matar a su hermana.
Judging by this, Detloff was literally supposed to tear her heart out.
Yet first you must snap her neck. Puzzling.
Puzzle complete now.
Alas, the matter's ceased to be a tantalizing brain tease and has turned incredibly grave. We've proof of a plot to assassinate Toussaint's ruler. We've proof of a coup d'etat.
Duchess was to be Detloff's last victim. Siana planned it from the start.
Indeed. The logical conclusion, Geralt.
4 seemingly random victims to start. The virtue's their only link. Enough to get folk talking about a righteous, vengeful beast. Obscured the victims' links to Siana, even as she had those she despised killed off one by one, leaving the Duchess for last.
Had she managed to fulfill her plan, none would have questioned the reasons. Most would have thought Anna Henrietta had died for her sins. She was known to show a hard heart on many occasions. Ample proof of a lack of compassion.
Why would Siana murder her own sister? Out of envy? To take power? From an inborn penchant for evil?
Yes, yes, and yes. All seem likely, and none are mutually exclusive. But if you'd like to know for certain, you could always ask her yourself.
Actually, love to learn her motives.
Praiseworthy, I suppose. Sometimes one should stare evil in the face.
Seems a bit strong, no?
She used my friend as her tool for killing. I believe I've every right to condemn her, but I support your lust for the truth. Some philosophers think empirical examination the sole path to knowledge. I believe you mentioned the Duchess keeps Siana locked up.
Courtiers were insisting on a harsher punishment. Much harsher. Think Anna Henrietta had to protect her sister from a lynch mob as much as she wanted to protect her subjects from a criminal. One way or another, she's locked away in a secluded wing of the palace, awaiting trial before a court of law. I'd need to get past some guards to see her. Coming with?
Of course not. I shall await you at Mare la Chaise-Longue. I'll not risk entering the palace after Dettlaff and his minions rampage. Besides, I vastly prefer the company of a simple mug of mandrake brew to that of the Duchess's vile sister.
So, said straight up, it means you're going off to get drunk because you hate Sienna.
I've never been fond of categorical statements of that kind, but I admit I could not vouch for my behavior in her presence. She treated Dettlaff cruelly, caused his death in the end, and now this? Atop all that? No, Geralt. I will not go with you. I will await you at the cemetery.
Tiene todo el derecho, también te digo. Vale. Vamos a hablar con Sienna. Quiero saber el porqué de todo, obviamente.
Give me strength.
Vale, pues entonces aquí. Sí. Digo, espero que no estén cerca los dos puntitos de esto. Pero no, no. Por suerte no. Arriba.
Halt!
Need to see Sienna, urgently.
In the matter of?
Want to talk to her. It's important.
Want to talk? Go see your gran at tea time. Not one locked up on the Duchess's orders. No doing without special permission. Period.
Found some information important to her case. Need an explanation, urgently.
Ah, fine then. You're that witcher who solved the murders, no? Then you've my permission, but only for a few minutes.
Promise to be brief.
The witcher will speak with the inmate. You can take a momentary break.
As long as it's truly but a moment. Highly irregular, this.
Have you come to see how I fare? I'm fine, thank you. Artorius' ribbon worked wonders. It's a shame they took it from me.
I know who the fifth victim was supposed to be.
Goodness, you're simply a compulsive snoop. I'm in prison. Dettlaff is dead. Could you not just drop it?
Sienna, stop pretending you couldn't care less. I know it's an act, and it's really starting to wear. Why do you want to kill her?
For such an accomplished investigator to ask about the obvious? Come now, Geralt. Why do you think?
Because she turned her back on you.
Me lo dijo ella.
Banished all memory of you.
Que la odiaba por eso.
Bravo, Geralt. Yet another riddle solved, and your sick curiosity sated. Well, what now? Off to share your discovery with Anna Henrietta? Oh, she's no longer in danger, true. But she very well might add a little something to your reward.
Definitely gonna tell her. Not necessarily for the coin, though.
Then why do it at all?
She ought to know. If only 'cause you'll probably try to kill her again if she ever lets you out.
I probably will.
Perhaps, just for a second, you could stop dwelling on all the wrongs folk have done you and forgive her.
Why should I?
For old time's sake. You loved each other once.
Please. I don't know who fed you that rubbish, but...
Read your governess's diary. You played together, were inseparable. Henriette'd get you into trouble sometimes, sure, but there were also times she stood up for you. When you had nightmares, only she could calm you. Time eats away at memories, distorts them. Sometimes we only remember the good, sometimes only the bad.
If she loved me so, why did she wash her hands off me? Forget me, hmm?
Don't know. But you could just ask her instead of sending monsters after her.
There's nothing she could say to change what she did to me, to justify it.
Maybe. But there's nothing out there to justify what you did to her and all Toussaint. Yet Anna Henrietta hasn't given up on you.
Ugh. You really want a happy ending, don't you?
Por una vez, sí.
With all of us living happily ever after.
Por una vez, sí.
Go, Witcher, or they'll give your medal to another. And that would be a shame.
Farewell, Sienna.
Por una vez sí que queremos que haya un final feliz, porque siempre todos los finales en The Witcher, de todas las historias, siempre acaban mal o siempre son agridulces, nunca hay nada... ¿Cómo decirlo? Nunca hay nada que digas tú, coño, es feliz. No. Pero por una vez sí que queremos que acabe feliz.
Commander de la Tour would like to see you. Shall we go at once?
¿Esto influye en el final? No tiene pinta.
Let's go. Want to see him too.
Con esto ya estaría, ¿no? Sí, simplemente.
Damien.
Geralt, it's about time. Ready for the ceremony?
Your face doesn't look good. What the hell happened?
The city was attacked. Surely you don't imagine I could stand and watch it all from some ivory tower.
All right, we can start.
Very well. But you must behave. Less like a hired thug, and more like a man deserving of the Duchy's highest honor. In fact, you'd do best to maintain a dignified silence throughout. Let's begin the ceremony. Come with me. The Duchess awaits. In the Guild's name, I beg your assistance, your enlightened highness. Without barrels, production will come to a stop, and it will be the end of us.
You lost them all in the fire. These are horrible tidings. Oh, we are most dreadfully saddened.
Yes, your enlightened highness all. Once the beasts had clawed their way into the warehouse, the whole place went up in flames.
I shall dispatch a palace guardsman to examine the site of the blaze. If things are, as you say, fitting compensation shall be paid from the ducal treasury.
Thank you, your enlightened highness. Your Grace, Geralt of Rivia has arrived.
My dear subjects, we come now to our next point of business. Of all the duties which fall upon my shoulders, as the ruler of this dominion, this duty is dearest to my heart. For now, we shall award the Order of Vitis Vinifera, Toussaint's highest honor.
Geralt of Rivia, slayer of the beast of Beauclair, step forth.
En plan, me cago en los muertos de este puto traje.
Who saved Beauclair from the terrible beast. Such is our desire. May this symbol serve as a reminder to all that the Witcher shall forever remain a friend of Beauclair. In more familiar terms now, I thank you immensely, Geralt. Damien has your reward for you. After all, it was but a contract.
Thank you.
I have a small surprise for you, in addition. I give you more than a dozen barrels of Sonreal, a wine normally reserved for the ducal table. The gustatory experience of a lifetime awaits. Are you content?
Feels like a second distinction. I'm honored. Thank you.
I trust you shall make good use of it. In a moment I shall speak to Siana. Will you assist me? You returned my sister to me, yet you also showed me her horrendous deeds. As head of state, I must judge her fairly, but she is my sister. Thus my heart bleeds for her.
If my presence will help in any manner, of course I'll stay.
We shall now question a person implicated in the murders which recently ravaged our fair city of Beauclair. Captain de la Tour, show Sylvia Anna in.
The Witcher will take part in our talk.
The Duchess requested I be present.
You have committed crimes. Grave crimes. Yet you are my sister, and my heart does not allow me to treat you as a common criminal. Thus I have asked Geralt to advise me, as one impartial. I shall now hear what he has to say.
Bitterness consumes Siana. She had cause to resent many of the court of Beauclair. I know her reasons, understand them even. But I can't condone the actions she chose to take.
What is he talking about, Siana?
You know exactly what. I was forcibly exiled, remember? To your benefit. You knew well the throne would then be yours, though I was the elder. The ministers I can understand. They'd hated me since I was a child, thought me a poor prospect for the wife of a duke. I even understand our parents. I'd always sensed the problem. They simply feared me, for I dared to be free. That fabricated curse, it fell into their laps. A gift from above that brought relief. But you... Your dagger hurt most. You were my Henrietta, damn it. My darling little sister. Now do you understand, Witcher? She betrayed me.
Claim to understand them all? Why'd you come back for revenge? Have them all cut down, then?
They deserved my vengeance. They detested me, all of them, as long as I can remember. But Henrietta understood me. Once. She was all I could cling to. Her betrayal hurt the most.
You were children then. You and your sister both had no control over what happened.
You're wrong, Witcher. She had control. Remember, dear sister? The day they banished me from the palace. Of course, I'd had the idea to pelt the Nilfgaardian envoy with fish bladders, which we filled with rancid suet on a lark. And which you set afire at the last, to impress me, I imagine. And I admit, you did. Hit him right in his hideous bald patch.
Never laughed so hard in my life. But when it came time to find the culprit, you said not a word. I took all the blame and all the punishment. It's true. I did not stand up for you. I was too afraid. The council was unanimous. They listed all my offenses. My flights from the palace, supposed acts of cruelty, inappropriate friendships. They cast me out, but you, the only one to understand me, you cowered in a corner, lifted not a finger to help. Not before, not after. You never tried to find me.
That's not true. I searched for you. Sent out knights, gathered tidings from without. You did not wish to be found. Since the day you vanished, I have lived with the knowledge that I failed you. I'm sorry, dear sister. Can you forgive me?
All in all, best part of the whole ceremony.
Y hemos acabado.
It was short.
Perhaps for you, as you ducked out early. The others are probably just getting started. The drunkenness never ends in this quaint realm.
Not so fond of Toussaint after all, are we?
Oh, this place is like a strong wine, Geralt. Good in small sips. How do you find my personal brew? Not too strong?
Just right.
Credit the local mandrake of the Alrauna diabolus variety for that. The tubers which grow in this area's volcanic soil have an altogether unique flavor profile and display a remarkably uncommon dark brown tint.
Fascinating. All I can say is this batch turned out excellent.
Indeed. It might be wise to stockpile some roots for the future. Would you care to accompany me?
You decide to go root picking now? It's dark out.
Geralt, even were I generously to assume it had simply slipped your mind that I am a vampire and thus need no light to see, I'd never believe you had also forgotten that you likewise have absolutely no trouble seeing in the dark. So, shall we?
If you think it's a good idea, let's go. But I think you might be forgetting one thing. Fresh mandrake root of this variety is highly toxic, even to a witcher.
Ah, not a problem. I never forget matters of safety and hygiene in alchemy. Here, gloves and a mask. Don them, and you shall be in no danger.
Thanks. Right then, let's go.
Pues nada, ponte máscara y guantes. Venga. ¿Dónde está esto? Sí.
Light makes me oh so dreamy.
Penny for your thoughts. Let me guess. Succubus twins?
No, I was thinking about... Oh, how...
Una. Y dos, ¿no? Ya estaría.
Now, where'd that bloodsucker go? Won't be easy to track down. He's a vampire after all.
Regis!
¿Dónde coño está Regis?
Damn it, where'd you go?
You raise your hand against the vampire! You shall die for that!
I did what I had to do!
The unseen shall never forgive!
Los ocultos.
Never forget!
Lo intentan matar porque mató a Deathless.
Those Bruxae, they called you a traitor.
Alas, we've a very simple code of honor, we vampires. So simple you might call it trivial. Either one is with us, unconditionally, regardless of the circumstances, or...
Won't let it go, will they?
They will not. Fortunately, we've another rule, an unwritten one, and just as trivial as the first. It is neatly summarized in the saying, out of sight, out of mind. That is why I must leave Toussaint. For a vastly long time, most like.
Yeah, I get it.
Let us make for my camp. I've an overwhelming desire to have another drink. Supreme bouquet. Firm, defined beginning, then develops gently, rising to a startling finish. Don't you think?
Not much of a connoisseur.
Then it is high time you started your education. After all, the Corvo Bianco vineyard is now yours. By the way, I left a gift for you at your new home, on the nightstand.
Thanks. Mind telling me what it is?
A trifle. That will nonetheless be useful should you need mutagens. Incidentally, have you thought about what you'll do with your prize? Shall you hang your swords over the mantle and take to pruning vines?
Podemos decirle que todavía no lo sabemos, que él está hecho para matar monstruos y seguir, o que definitivamente colgaremos la espada y seremos el brujo que morirá en su cama. Pero esto me hace dudar, porque ya dijeron los de CD Projekt que Geralt de Rivia aparecerán en The Witcher 4. Lo que no sé es cómo, de qué forma. No sé si aparecerá en plan plácidamente con Yennefer, tranquila, en Corvo Bianco, y que Ciri les visitará para pedirle consejo sobre algo, y Geralt en última instancia, ¿sabes? Como en la última cabalgada, irá para ayudar a Ciri y morirá en el intento, o en verdad Geralt siempre está cazando monstruos. Así que voy a decir que no lo sé.
Don't really know yet. Might find the life of a hard-working vintner too tempting one day. Or maybe I'll just stick to the path, go on roaming, staring up at the stars after laying my bedroll at the roadside.
Ah, roadsides, bedrolls, and the sky above. I sense some poetry coming on, which of course brings to mind Dandelion. I can remember a night, not too far from here if I'm not mistaken. We hid in a cave while a blizzard raged all about. Does that sound at all familiar?
How could it not? We just set off to rescue Ciri from Vilgefortz.
Oh, our encounter with Vilgefortz. That is something I do not remember so fondly. But that first stay in Beauclair, far calmer than this one.
Seemed like a land straight out of a fairy tale back then. Its sole problem, cellars too small to accommodate all that wine.
Appearances, Geralt. Appearances, like Mamoons and Dopplers, deceive. So what did become of Vilgefortz?
Killed him. Sure wasn't easy, though. What about you? Any idea where you'll go?
Distance is of the essence. I thought I might venture south.
Nilfgaard?
Why ever not? The Nilfgaardians are a modern society. None there believe in vampires anymore. This fact alone could be very useful to one wishing to remain incognito.
Interesting point of view. I so don't feel like going anywhere. Sit here a while longer?
So we shall, my friend. We have witnessed, and in fact on several occasions incited, many great and weighty events. After all that toil, I believe we deserve a bit of a rest.
That we do.
Y Geralt es el que más se lo merece. Uy, esa miradita a cámara. A pesar...
Actually, I'd love to go home.
A pesar de que ha salido el título y han salido los créditos, aún no hemos terminado. Falta por terminar esta misión. Pero está guay, porque lo que le dice Regis es en plan de, tío, en algún momento ¿no te gustaría descansar de todo ya? Y llevar una vida tranquila, sin tanto ajetreo. Y Geralt hace como, pues la verdad es que sí. Y esa miradita a cámara como de despedida, guapi, eso ha sido la polla. Pero ahora mismo nosotros tenemos que ir a casa, a Corvo Bianco, ¿vale? Vamos a venir a este poste de aquí, ¿vale? Que está cerquita. Vamos a Corvo Bianco y allí terminamos ya lo que sí, terminamos The Witcher 3, ya por fin. Tenemos que terminar esta misión principal.
Master Witcher, some unknown individual barged into the residence. I resisted as best I could, but to no avail.
Who is it?
Alas, they did not do me the basic courtesy of introducing themselves.
Unexpected as ever.
Jennifer.
And beautiful as ever.
Won't you even ask why I've come? Or how I found you?
Wouldn't get a straight answer anyway.
Quite true.
Used to bother me, all your secrets. Now I know if you have something to tell me, you'll tell me. Don't need to ask.
I missed you, Geralt. Madly. Come outside. We can hold hands and stare at the sky, like some shitty two-crown romance.
Brought quite a few books. Let me guess. Working on a new spell?
Not at all. These aren't grimoires, just pleasure reading. The Name of the Orchid. A widower for half a year.
Huh. Always thought you too busy to make time for something as impractical as pleasure reading.
Because I was. But now, I'm not. A few weeks ago, I awoke to the realization that I know not what to do next. I have no plan. I have no goal. And you know what? I like that. Finally, I can stop thinking about politics and focus on what's important to me. Which is why I came here.
Liking Toussaint so far?
The landscape's lovely and the towns are charming, no question about that.
But
the southern sun plays havoc with my wardrobe. To be blunt, wear black down here and you're pretty damn hot.
Might need to think about changing your color palette. Off-white and pea green, for instance.
And I'll wear scents distilled from turnips and daisies. I think I shall simply stay in the shade. And you'll bring me cool drinks. At regular intervals.
Bring you whatever you want.
Yo te traigo lo que tú me pidas. Es que Geralt también es un romántico, ¿eh?
You know, feels kinda strange having a home.
I must say I never pictured you owning real estate.
Was something of an accident, but I'm not about to complain. Yen, back then, before we fought the hunt, said you wanted to run away with me to the world's end. This vineyard, good enough?
Yes, although there's one thing missing.
Namely?
I shall give you a hint. It's large, white.
Oh, Dios mío, se ha traído el unicornio.
Category taxidermy.
Oh, yeah. The unicorn. Fine. You can bring it down here.
I knew you'd see things.
Puedes traértelo a casa, no te preocupes.
Ever thought this day would come? Me and you, peace and quiet. Bees buzzing, birds chirping.
I almost regret delaying so long before coming to you. I was quite the silly goose.
You have doubts? Though I imagine it might have been hard coming after me. Always were proud as a peacock.
Please, Geralt. I'm not like other sorceresses to feel that following someone means my wings have been clipped.
Ooh, watch what you say about your colleagues. Remember, it's an ill bird that fouls its own nest.
Well said, Witcher. You're not only handsome, but wise, too. I feel a bit like the cat that got the canary.
Yeah, and I'm... Damn it, you win. This time.
Ha!
How'd that start, anyway? Our duels in wordplay.
Forgotten. It was at a vernissage in Banard. You started it to keep from going mad with boredom. I remember finding your sense of humor both groan-worthy and somehow endearing. Never change, Geralt. I beg you.
So, talk again later?
Of course. I'm not going anywhere.
Pues mira, Geralt tiene su final feliz. Geralt tiene aquí a Yennefer en nuestra casita, literalmente, nuestra casita de Corvo Bianco, nuestro viñedo, trabajadores, mucho dinero, vistas de Toussaint, fuera de monstruos. Igualmente, si hay algún problema de monstruos, Geralt sale, se los carga y cobra. No hay ningún problema, puede ayudar a la gente de Toussaint y asentarse aquí como el brujo local. ¿Entendéis lo que quiero decir? Geralt se puede asentar aquí como el brujo local. No viaja, no está en la senda, pero como es brujo... Yennefer. ¿Estás bien, hija? Ah. Como... Pues eso, que Geralt no está en la senda, pero se puede asentar aquí y ayudar a la gente de aquí de Toussaint. En plan, en esta simple región, ya está, ¿sabes? Ayuda a los de aquí con todo... Con los monstruos que puedan venir o lo que sea. Y ya está, y ganar dinero. Fin. Y ya está. Vida tranquila, feliz. Con Yennefer, obviamente. Hasta que se estrene The Witcher 4 y ver qué es lo que ocurre con Geralt, porque es que han dicho que va a salir. Así que nada, chicos, chicas, hasta aquí The Witcher 3. Ha sido una serie larga, larga de cojones. Ha sido más larga. Voy a mirar un momentito, ¿vale? YouTube. Voy a mirar un momentito YouTube, porque voy a mirar las listas de reproducción mías. Y miraré... Miraré cuántos vídeos tiene, por ejemplo, que te digo yo. Mirad, hay una lista de reproducción. Vale. Pues mira, ha durado 3 vídeos más. No, 4 vídeos. Ha durado 4 vídeos más que Dragon Age de Veilguard. Ha durado 4 vídeos más que la serie de Dragon Age de Veilguard. Imaginaos. Ha durado 13 vídeos más que Baldur's Gate. De las series más largas que he hecho ha sido Dragon Age de Veilguard, Baldur's Gate y yo creo que Final Fantasy Final Fantasy XV, Final Fantasy XVI es una serie larga, Assassin's Creed Valhalla fue una serie larga. Sí. Ha sido acojonante, la duración de este The Witcher, aunque bueno, claro, se habría acabado antes sin los DLC. Obviamente, con los DLC pues su esperanza de vida se alarga. Así que nada, chicos, chicas, lo dicho, muchísimas gracias por haber visto este vídeo y esta serie conmigo. Darle like si os ha gustado, dislike si no. Y ya sabéis, si queréis apoyar este tipo de series RPG largas y queréis que traiga más y queréis apoyar el canal, tan solo tenéis que darle like a los vídeos, suscribiros, compartir, comentar y activad la campanita de la suscripción para que YouTube os avise de cuando subo un nuevo vídeo. Así que nada más, un saludito a todos y nos vemos en próximas aventuras. Nos veremos en un futuro que no se sabe cuándo será, The Witcher 4 y por supuesto nos veremos por aquí por el canal. Hasta otra, zagales.